This episode of Crystal Clear is sponsored by Squarespace.
Welcome back to Crystal Clear! I'm Vox, and although the episode Little Graduation was a great way to finally tie up the Lars and Sadie romance subplot, I'm not exactly convinced it is the conclusion of Lars' arc as a whole. No disrespect to Sadie, she's been as much of a major human character as Lars has been, but obviously Lars has received special treatment over the years. He and Sadie are the oldest Steven Universe characters, dating back before the show's conception, but whereas Sadie and Lars' arcs have paralleled each other in Season 5, both ending up as completely different people and thus explaining why they would drift apart, Sadie's journey was quitting her job and joining a band, while Lars' arc saw the character realize that people enjoyed Steven inhabiting his body more than they actually enjoyed him in complete control, being the only victim of Topaz and Aquamarine's abduction that got taken into space, dying on Homeworld and being resurrected, becoming a space pirate, hijacking a spacecraft to return to Earth, returning to Earth, breaking things off with his not-girlfriend, and deciding to go back into space. And while all of that is a lot, there's one thing missing from Lars' arc, something that Rebecca Sugar said would happen eventually, kind of implying that there's a possibility of us seeing it on screen, something that I've broke down before right here on this channel. That would be more than just fan service, but would actually complete Lars as a character, alongside serving as a contribution to Steven's unfortunate arc, is the proper demonstration of Lars using his new powers. But I believe Little Graduation set up an opportunity not just for Lars to use his powers, but for him to encounter a lingering plot thread in future, an antagonist that makes a lot of sense for us to run into again. The curly-haired Lapis Lazuli, referred to in the credits as Mean Lapis, or as I just call her, Regina. So let's talk about this. Of course, spoiler warning, in case the details of my theory actually end up being accurate, and you don't want to know anything about the upcoming episodes of Steven Universe Future, please click off now. With all that said, let's dive in. We discussed the prospect of Lars' powers before on the channel, and if you need a refresher on what exactly he can do, you can check out the aforementioned video. But to give you the essential info, anything Lion can do, Lars can do. This was said by the Crewniverse. Rebecca Sugar said when Lars figures out his powers, it's gonna be really funny, and even insinuated that if you want to leave it up to the imagination, he used his powers to evade Homeworld forces and get off planet in the first place. However, we're anchored to the Steven perspective. Anything Steven knows, we know. So at this current point in time, podcast aside, how will we know that Lars has the potential to use his powers? Again, let's flash back to Little Graduation, where Lars reveals to Steven that, with the off-colors finishing their course at Little Homeschool, the gang is now ready to head back into space. Potentially with a new ship, maybe Steven's diamond status was able to get them some leverage, or with the Sun Incinerator. Perhaps Lars is on good terms with Emerald now. But the most interesting detail of Lars' upcoming mission is how he describes his newfound purpose, stating that he and the off-colors can take what they learned to other planets. This simply being the values and lifestyle of the crystal gems, or all the ways to properly be an Earthling, how to get in tune with your feelings and truly discover yourself. Both concepts the off-colors truly picked up through their time on Earth, and Lars of his general life experience, including all the traumatizing bits. But a part of me is curious, what planets and who exactly are they trying to reach? Because assumably, Lars is referring to other gems that reside on the now liberated planets. However, everyone got Steven's message to the universe, and in the process of dismantling the Empire, you would imagine that Steven would spread those ideals. After all, the rules of Era 3 aren't too far off from the philosophy of a crystal gem, just being able to do whatever you want. Steven said it himself, everyone's safe to explore their dreams. But obviously that wouldn't have allocated enough time for Steven to personally connect with each gem, to give them the 411 of everything the gems would eventually learn at Little Homeschool. So perhaps the target of Lars and the off-colors are the gems that actually decline going to Little Homeschool, or just haven't had the time to consider the option. Maybe they're still unaware, or maybe they're a little bit intimidated. So with their degree in Earth 101, they can educate gems across the solar system and beyond, improving their way of life. But really, I think Lars means uncharted territory, new planets that were never claimed by the diamonds, but even then, maybe there are gems who still decided to set up shop on these planets. They come in peace, not colonizing, not forcing any intergalactic wildlife out of there. They just decided to come and look at beautiful, jaw-dropping planets from all throughout the galaxy. And for the sake of this theory, we're going to roll with the concept of it being new planets, though former colonies can still work in theory, as Steven did remark he helped save those planets in the beginning of the film. Assumably, life can still be sustained. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform to create your very own website. It's how we built the current Roundtable site. You can add videos from YouTube, Vimeo, and Animoto, and add an image overlay to your video to improve your website's loading speed. Squarespace is able to authenticate your social media, allowing you to auto-post content to Twitter, Facebook, personal or brand page, or even Tumblr. All images and posts are optimized and tagged, so descriptions and titles will be displayed correctly. Create a powerful visual experience. Bring your website's background to life with a video of your choice. You can go to squarespace.com/roundtable to get a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, or just hit the link in the description below. Lars left the door open for Steven to visit, referring to the fact that Steven can walk out of Lars's head at any given time whenever Steven pleases. I think Steven's headed in a direction where he'll certainly take that offer, whether if it's to escape tensions at home, or perhaps to still find purpose in the galaxy. And that's where I think Lars's mission will play a role in Steven's arc, as it'll complicate things with Steven. Steven could get the bright idea, oh, I can still help gems in space. Why wouldn't they want help from a diamond? And that seems to be right up Steven's alley. If there's no one on Earth to help, the next logical step would be to connect with life from across the galaxy. Yet Lars and the off-colors would be where the inconvenience comes in, as they would already be fulfilling that mantle. Yet I think Conflict would be doing the best job of conveying that to Steven, as spreading their message to other planets would eventually cause Lars to run into Regina Lapis. If you recall, at the end of Why So Blue, Nice Lapis, or Freckle Lapis, or Lindsay Lohan Lapis decided to actually come to Little Homeschool and walk away from her life of terraforming. And with a name like Nice Lapis, we can assume it's probably sincere and not a double cross, but I think we should always keep the option double cross on the table, just because when we're out here, we have to make sure that we trust no one. Either way, this tells us Mean Lapis is still out there. She'll still go around and colonize planets, no skin off her bones, she enjoys terraforming, who needs a partner? Yeah, I definitely think Regina Lapis is going to be salty over Lohan Lapis piecing out. But luck will not be on her side, as whatever planet she's terraforming, against the wishes of any inhabitants, who will just happen to be the same planet Lars will make a pit stop on. Or perhaps in this journey, the off-colors discover that planets are being terraformed across the galaxy at a pretty consistent rate, which I think for the sake of storytelling would be better than just coincidentally encountering this Lapis. Lars actually being on the hunt for her after catching wind, the same way Steven and Lapis initially found out, just seems to make more sense, but I think Steven visiting Lars would still be a coincidence nonetheless. What are the odds?
It's approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Steven decides to visit Lars the same day that Lars encounters a rogue gem. Regina would either play off that she's fine without Nice Lapis, or just be pretty blunt at how bitter she is of her loss, and going off her behavior in Why So Blue, she would quickly jump to aggression. After all, Lapis ain't around, who's gonna stop her? Although I really want Lars and our Lapis to actually interact, they still have pretty similar journeys of being captive. It writes itself, but we're not here to lament. What would be important for both Lars and Steven's arc would be not just for Steven to witness Lars being pretty good at his job at connecting with others, helping people work through their issues, something that Lars couldn't have achieved without Steven in the first place, but when it's actually time to throw hands, Steven would already be at his defense, ready to throw down with his shield, only for Lars to finally break out his powers. Of course, flooring Steven. What, Lars? I didn't know you could do that!
Why don't you tell me you can do these things you do?
You guys get the idea. Lars is making portals, concussive roars, the whole nine. Steven helps out here and there and will probably go pink, but the major moves in this battle would all be because of Lars. Lars getting back to Earth was already of his own accord, but I think for Steven, seeing firsthand Lars connect with others, help others through their problems, and even fight off danger, would communicate to Steven that Lars can not only take care of himself, but others. And with this rut Steven's in, it would make him feel even more obsolete. Great ending for Lars's arc. Connecting to and helping others is such a drastic turn from where he began, but one that makes sense with everything he's been through. But yeah, Steven would. He would not take it too well. This could also potentially be the conclusion to the Mean Lapis subplot, that most of these antagonists don't band together somehow. She's just defeated by Lars. Lars going through a similar situation expresses to Mean Lapis that she has to move on. If anything, she has to support what Lohan wants, and everything is fine and dandy from there. And I wouldn't mind that as a conclusion. Sure, another villain gets redeemed, but it's Future. But although Future is a different series from Steven Universe, I don't think our redemption arc would evade us, especially especially in an epilogue, so if a variation of this did occur, I can't say I'd be all too surprised. But as always, these are just my thoughts, and I want to hear yours. What do you think? Will Lars and Regina Lapis cross paths? And how do you think Lars would use his powers for the first time? Is there a certain ability you definitely want to see him use? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for more of my own thoughts, you can find me at Vox. We're also on Instagram. Special thanks to JANKYBONES for creating an awesome thumbnail. For more of their amazing art, you can find them on Tumblr at JANKYBONES, Twitter and Instagram at BoneJanky, and subscribe to their YouTube channel. Link in the description. Help their to grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw a like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Vox signing out.